Play coach me?
Yes, I can.
Really, dude? I'm just like a washed up master.
It's okay, man. We all get like that sometimes.
All right, cool. Wait, so all right, hell yeah, let's do this.
Everyone signed their life insurance policies?
Ready for battle.
Observe the battle.
Okay, so I would say first off, how are your comms usually in competitive games?
I like to talk. I said
That
they're okay.
that's good. That's good. Communication is big. I would
Key.
consider it probably my number one thing for climbing at all. Period. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
If you can talk to your teammates, if you can talk effectively to your teammates and call things out, that's going to be a big boost in SR for you.
5, 4,
Nice.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Swear my reticle looks different. That reticle looks big.
Yeah, I just have this small little thing, just a small little green crosshair for the
Mine's like even
contrast.
smaller than that
Hey, whatever works
usually.
for you. As long as it's not taking up 90% of your screen, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so they have the Pharah, which is great for you. They have Doomfist, Tracer, Mercy, Hog, and Ryan. So as a soldier player, obviously you're going to want to focus down that pharmacy as quick as possible, but you also want to look out for the Doomfist because he's going to be trying to charge your backline. Since your backline is an Ana who doesn't have a lot of mobility, you're either going to have you or your diva try to peel for your Ana, or even whoever else is the healer who doesn't have a way to escape. Doomfist is going to try
Mm-hmm.
and go for those quick picks or the backline. So you just have to watch him just in case he engages, and when he does engage, if he makes a mistake, like screws up his escape or just uses all of his abilities on trying to kill whoever, that's a good point to yell out, "Hey, Doomfist is wasting all of his abilities. Kill him before he escapes."
Yeah.
That was a good kill. You recognize that the Helix rocket was able to kill him, which is good. So plus you also have the golden gun, which means you play a lot of soldier, I'm assuming.
Recently,
Yeah. So I hate to inform you, but soldier at his current state isn't really the best right now. Obviously, you can
yeah.
still get value out of him because of Farah. Farah is still a character that is countered by Soldier, but there's also a lot of controversy with Soldier since he just doesn't have the damage output to combat any of the other heroes really. And the thing is, it's good that you even initialize this. I guess this sort of like sense to know, hey, this guy is like 100 health. This Doomfist is 100 health. My Helix rocket does however many. I think it's like 120 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a quick kill off of him. This is a bit risky because you do have the Hog here who
Yeah.
can hook you. So
Yeah.
I would just say
Got
be
out of there.
careful. Junkrat
Let
was not so
the,
lucky and he took the hook for you.
Everyone heal up.
Yeah, so using your biotic field here is a bit of a risky move, but you did put it behind the door, which really doesn't matter. But still, you have the field going to Baptiste and yourself. Just remember that if your teammates are right next to you, it would be a lot of help if you used your healing not just selfishly, but also with other
yeah.
teammates to
Yeah, I do.
boost the healing. You didn't have to use it here. You weren't in a tough spot where you were going to be killed or where you were going to be out damaged with the amount of health you had. You had Baptiste right behind you, so just be aware that you did not need to use it per se. You are being pocketed, so Hog being super aggressive. We now know the Pharah is in here, so we now know that like pretty much half the team's in here. We've seen Hog, we've
Mm-hmm.
seen Ryan, we've seen Farah. We know that most of their team is right here. I would say at this point, just be very aware because they might have somebody flanking from either the left side or underneath. Obviously, somebody like me in the back line over here would probably call that out, or somebody who's on point. But just be aware if somebody is, if the whole team, oh shoot, I hate this. If the whole team is going through here, they might have somebody flanking, even though they're on us in this backline position here. They might have somebody flanking through one of the undersides.
Yeah, for sure.
So they push. You do. All right. So this is a fun game that I like to have. I can't switch from D.Va to anybody else. I'm pressing left and right, and it just doesn't happen. And I hate that about the goddamn replay system. So for now, we're gonna play in third person. So you do drop down immediately. What you can try to do is try to either take the high ground up here with me, or you can try to back off somewhere over here for some more natural cover either here or just try to contest point. You're contesting point right now. They haven't dropped yet. Doomfist does a dumb and starts trying to punch. He could have easily slammed you from here to do a lot of damage. Just be careful if you try to Helix Rocket him from close range, because you'll probably end up dying because of his combo right there that he just tried using on Sigma. Obviously, this is not a Doomfist player since he didn't get that combo kill off. Yeah,
Wait.
this...
I thought he ran off to the side.
He was here. He went in,
okay.
he uppercutted the Sigma, and then he backed off after you shot him and punched into the room for the Mega.
I see.
So, this is what Doomfist players will do. They'll escape, but then they'll expect you to chase them.
Yeah, but I knew he couldn't hit me from that angle.
His fist has a recharge rate of 4 seconds. His other abilities are 6 seconds. As long as you keep that in mind, you know when his abilities are cooling down, you can get a pretty quick kill off him if you know he can't kill you. So even if he is trying to charge up like this, you do have to be aware of anything that can kill you, such as a wall. Because if he punches you into a wall, that's 300 damage. That is going to instant kill you. But good kill. It's a good kill.
Yeah.
So Ryan charges in like this. He has the rest of his team up here. He's by himself. What you want to do, as soon as he does this, as soon as he charges in by himself, you want to call this out immediately. Focus Ryan, focus Ryan, focus Ryan, focus Ryan. He dies immediately. They have no main tank. It's easy cleanup from there.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
That's fine. You didn't see him. You were focused on the Reinhardt, which is good. You should be trying to kill him. It's just the position here. You used biotic field too. I didn't see that you did that. I think you might have used that on the Doomfist. Yeah, so he's one. Goodbye. You kill him. Yes. Here. So he takes maybe 30 health off of you. And you use biotic field. That's a bit of a rough one, if I'm going to be honest. This one is just unlucky because he was flanking, but you still do have to be kind of aware of your surroundings. Your hearing, your headset, very good for that kind of stuff, especially dangerous characters like Hog are very, very, very loud. You hear something, you let somebody know, or you figure it out for yourself. You know, you don't want to leave one of your more important senses up to chance. Yeah, so I think we just lose this real quick. Not a big deal. I think I have to wait for the D.Va to get out of mech until I can change. Yep, there we go. Yeah, one thing you don't know about the replay system, you cannot switch from D.Va to literally anybody else most of the time. You have to wait for her to either die or get out of mech in order to change. Which
Why? That's
sucks.
crazy.
I don't know. They haven't
fixed
changed
it.
They haven't fixed it. It's stupid. I hate it. It makes coaching so much more difficult. Okay, so now you have to be aware. You just use your abilities to escape the spawn room. So right now you weren't aggressive. That's fine. You realize that you still have your Wraith ability available to you. Now one option that you can do is either try to focus down Mercy, I would say. Either Mercy or Hog, since you are Hog's counter, and Mercy would be a great pick for you since you can do so much damage.
Well, 30 years ago, right?
Oh god, you're breaking up. Are you good?
Yeah.
You sounded kind of robotic.
Okay, I can hear you fine. That's what matters.
Okay. Okay, so you do fade. You were fading because of the Doomfist punch, but just make sure if he's not punching you, your Wraith ability is your only
Yeah,
escape.
I heard it from behind me, so I
That
just
it's fine. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you just know that that
Yeah.
is pretty much your only escape through any sort of damage that's in
Yeah.
you. So you do have to be careful when trying to be aggressive, because then a Reinhardt who's being pocketed and you might not have. That was a good pick. Okay, so 1 for 1, not bad. But yeah, just watch your abilities on that.
oh wow, the res in my face.
Yes, we also have the Mercy who can res. So just like I said, remember your priorities, being Hog mainly and Mercy, since you do counter
Right.
Hog, and remember that they have the Mercy. So even if you do get a pick, you want to make sure that either your team can deny the res, or you can deny the res by camping their body. If their whole team's there and you decide to 1v6 them, they're just going to res him and keep pushing cart.
Death comes.
Now, I would say the only thing that is kind of iffy is you don't have to use your abilities to get to payload faster. Unless it's being stalled, or you have all and you can get there quick enough to where you want to use all your abilities. You typically don't want to use your abilities when you come out of spawn. It's just a waste, especially if somebody's spawn camping you, like a Sombra. That's going to suck when you don't have Wraith form, when you Wraith form out of spawn. So, your Shadow Step is used to get behind enemy lines and also to traverse very steep forms of ledges and high grounds and whatever. So you want to still have that ability available to you when you have a good chance to pick off somebody in their backline. A lot of Reapers, especially at Grandmaster level, literally would just teleport behind the enemy, pick somebody off, Wraith form back to their main tank and get healed up, and then wait for that ability to come back off of cooldown and then do the exact same thing again.
Yeah,
It is a very, very powerful combo. It's literally the same thing Doomfist does.
That's what
I'm
I try
going to
to
go
do.
in, I'm going to kill one person, and then I'm going to leave. That's all you need. You don't need 5 picks every single fight. 1 pick is good enough. So right here, right now, you could teleport up onto the high ground. You teleport. That was lucky. You didn't have to teleport, but whatever. You dodged the sleep dart, which was good.
Yeah. Here I kind of
have a
bought
pick.
out.
Okay.
How did I not kill her? How did I not kill?
That's a bit rough. One thing that that is tough with Ana is that she can anti-nade you, which stops your damage siphon, so you can't get heals back from shooting people, and her sleep dart, which pretty much renders you useless. You can use Wraith ability to dodge any one of these abilities, but just know if she has the other one in her pocket, she's going to use everything in her power to stop you. You also have to make sure if she's alone, that's when you would kind of want to use Wraith as like a last resort. Hey, I'm probably going to die because she's using all of her abilities on me. If she has her entire enemy team in front of her, I would say it's not worth it, especially because A, she's getting rid of all of her abilities, which is good, but B, you're dying in the middle of the fight when you are not going to kill her because her whole team's there. And point is currently being lost to where we could probably have used you either up on the front line, or you could have tried to kill someone else, like, I don't know, Mercy or someone. So right now, you're just too far deep. Your main concern is like, hey, I'm going to go in, I'm going to get a kill. But the issue is you have the whole enemy team in the middle of you when you try to go in.
Yeah.
The grave cannot hold me.
And there's the
It's a habit. I did it all the time when I played Reaper. I just recently started playing Reaper again, and my God, was I awful. I just couldn't hit things. I was using abilities all wrong. Play the hero enough times, you'll get used to them. You could literally just go into quick play for a game and just be like, okay, this is the one thing I need to practice. practice that, you'll get it down for comp in no time.
From the shadows.
You don't want to focus on too many things at once. If you, I would say in like quick play games, when you're kind of doing your warm-up game, you don't want to focus on literally anything besides the thing you want to practice. Like, it doesn't matter about damage, it doesn't matter about kills. If you want to focus on, hey, maybe I should use my Wraith form to try and escape more, I die too often, focus on that and get good at that, and then move on to something else.
Okay, this is the worst part.
It's okay, not a big deal. Alts. Literally nobody has used their alts. I think the Pharah used, well, no, we had Nano in the first fight, and then we had Barrage earlier. If you can connect with your team, if you can talk with your team about what alts to use, that is going to be a huge advantage over the other team. Mainly,
I got nanoed here and I messed it up.
That's okay. One thing that I do want you to know is that you don't always have to... People freak out when they get Nano. They get Nano and they're like, I'm supposed to do something, I don't know what to do, let me just go in. When you get Nano, you're not invincible. You definitely take less damage, but you're still not invincible.
Mm-hmm.
What I was trying to do, you were up on the high ground. I thought you were going in for the backline. That's why I nanoed you. Typically, nanoing Reaper is pretty good because he does more damage. He's basically like a super powerhouse when he's nanoed. It's insane. If he can get close, it's pretty much a team wipe. But you don't... Even one pick would be good enough at this point. If you can get one pick, that's still good. Even with the increased damage, even with the use of nano. You do want to limit the... Obviously, this is quick play. You can't control everyone. But when you're in comp, you want to try to communicate with your team. Hey, we know they have this, this, and that. And even if you're wrong about one or two, it doesn't matter. You're still learning. You'll get to the point where you can track enemy ultimates pretty much every time. It's like a sixth sense almost. But you also want to make sure you don't use too many ultimates in one fight. So if D.Va decides, hey, I'm going to use bomb, and you're like, hey, we should use this and that, and she uses bomb, that's bad. You want to try to limit the use of ultimates unless you need them, obviously. If you need a nano to save someone's life, then you had to use nano. If you needed to use Death Blossom or else you were going to lose the point, you needed to use Death Blossom. Obviously, the plans don't work out how they should every time. Eventually, you'll have to... They start using ultimates, you're going to have to start countering their ultimates with your ultimates. Not everything works out how it should. You should plan before fights, and then while you're in the middle of a fight, don't think about anything. Don't think about, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Just do what you think is right in that moment, or else you're going to lose the fight. Good kill. This is good because literally nobody is here. The Mei is shooting down at you, but she's not even close to use her freeze. Hog's still respawning. It's a good early pick. Nobody's here. I would say that's probably a really... Ah, shoot. I did it again. Well...
Yes! Right before my shitty ult. Oh, okay. No, you're still gonna see it. You're still gonna see it. Yeah.
Alright, so we're hiding... Yeah, so this is why I did it. Because I knew you were up against the Mei. I saw the Pharah there. I thought this was a two really good picks that you could have gotten.
It was...
It sucks because you got frozen. Stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
The thing is, you Wraith to try and go get her and then solo ult her with that, which is a yikes.
Oh, God. That was a big yikes.
Okay. So,
Big
along with tracking enemy ultimates, you also have to track enemy abilities. Enemy abilities, especially ones that can counter yours, is going to be very, very big for when you try to use your ultimate. Ana doesn't have Sleep Dart. That's a good time to use your ultimate. Mei doesn't have Ice Wall or Cryo. Use your ultimate, you know?
Yeah.
Typically, bigger packs of enemies, you would want an Orisa. You would try to line up with your Orisa. Like, hey, Orisa, pull main. Just pull somewhere, you know? Pull in the middle of all of them. I'm going to drop down and kill them all. You're up on Anubis, second point. You're sitting up on that high ground over the choke. Orisa, pull main. She pulls main. There you go. All 6 of them are standing right in front of you. I don't know why she nanoed Mei here, but I guess it was just to sit the sit the diva down. Tire comes out. Apparently I can't switch between this either.
That was a okay. That was a
we
questionable tire.
Alright, so now we're on Farah. So let me ask you a question. Why were you switching? Did you feel like you just weren't getting enough value out of both Reaper and Soldier when you were playing?
Okay, I switched off a soldier because I actually ulted in spawn and I felt ashamed.
Right.
And I switched off a Reaper, huh?
Yeah, go on.
I switched off a Reaper just because I wanted to be able to compete with the pharmacy and I didn't feel like they really had anything to stop a Pharah. I feel like I could have done more. Because I
Okay.
was just going to get freezed by Mei if I tried to come in and kill the Roadhog.
Okay. So that's good. Knowing that you're like not working out with one character is good. I definitely don't want you to stick on one character, even if you're like 50% to alt or whatever, and you're like, oh, I should probably stick to no. If you don't think you're gonna get enough value with a hero, definitely switch. You don't want to be switching every single team fight though, to where you're not getting an ultimate period. But if you're not going to get value and you know you're not going to get value out of this character, it is a good thing to switch and get that pick off sooner rather than later, or else you're just going to never get any value period and you're not going to win any team fights. But if you think you can contest a pharmacy, then I mean, go for it. Honestly, Soldier, obviously hit scan players are typically better, but this is more close range coming into the final checkpoint here. So I mean, go for it. If you think you can do it, pog to you, man. And they are kind of stuck on this choke here. So getting directs isn't really a huge priority, but they're definitely limited to where they can go. If they go top, then that's where they are, you know? You can't do anything about that. But if they go through main, it's a lot easier to get off that splash damage on literally anyone. It's the same thing with like Ana nades. Reinhardt's here. You can literally just be shooting at this tree and you'd be getting splash damage off of him a bunch of times. It's a good thing to... I hate when that happens. I can't go left every time I go off of Baptiste, and it's stupid, but whatever. Alright. So we're here. Just so we're clear, you do know how to stay in the air as Farah forever, right? You know how that goes down?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Tell me how you stay in the air
so,
forever
well,
as Farah.
What, just like managing the
Yeah, how do you manage her boost?
just like the way you alright, well, I mean, I don't know. I think this works forever. Just kind of tapping it, just like I would say like half a second on, half like a second on, a second off. I don't know. I mean, it seems to work, but I haven't seen like I don't know like the actual method.
Well, I can do it later. I'll make a note of it and then we can go back to it after the VOD, because there is a way that you can actually gain more height if you know how to do it the right way to gain more height.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. No.
Okay. We'll do that later. Because that is a good tech to learn as a Farah player, is how to get up to a higher point than you were before. So right now you're fighting the Mei, which is good. She can't really get many hits off of you unless she's a really good shot. You bait out her cryo, which was earlier. Actually, let me go back just so we can see this. So we are... Where are we? Oh, we're here. Okay. So we're here. We do have to be careful because I can already see it. Ana is shooting at you. Ana is the closest thing that they have to a hit scan, and she needs to hit you 3 times for you to die. So if you get hit once, I would try to say either cut off her line of sight by jumping above this choke point here and kind of just peppering them from up here, or you could try to stick to this high ground over here just so she doesn't have a line of sight on you. If she has a line of sight on you here, it's going to be real rough for you when you try to get any sort of value, because Ana's going to constantly be putting pressure on you, and you don't want that. Yeah, she's trying to freeze you. You get a couple good hits off, and she uses cryo. So this is perfect. So what I would try to do now is jump jet above her, and as soon as she's done, she just used ice wall and cryo. What you want to try to do is try to keep her away from her team as much as possible. So as soon as she's done with her cryo, I want you to concussive blast her back over to here. So then you can get her closer to you, so you can get more direct rockets, and then she doesn't have the immediate response of her team to come and try and save her. It gets you more value out of it, because now she's already back at her team, and she's going to start being hit by Ana, if she can hit a shot on her. Yeah, she starts being healed by Ana. So now you're forced to back off. You're like, shoot, she's getting healed, I gotta heal, just gotta back off and then try to do it again. So another thing that you could do is with Diva Bomb, what a lot of heroes like to do is they like to move people around. Lucio is very good with this. There's a Diva Bomb right in front of you. Oh, Ryan's just here. He'll block the bomb. Not if Lucio comes up and just boops him up into the sky. He's not going to protect everyone because he's in the sky. And everybody else is relying on Ryan to stop the Diva Bomb. It's going to suck if you have displacement, which you do, your concussive blast. You boop him over here, he dies, you know? So try to look for certain synergies like that, where you can displace the enemy either off the edge or into more damage, such as that Diva Bomb. So now you're being contested by Pharah. She's trying to solo wall you. That was very good. Okay.
Yeah. That was pretty nasty.
So that was really good. A lot of strafing patterns are very difficult with Pharah because you can drop, you can boost, you can go left, right. You have free range of everywhere to try and dodge as much as possible.
Wait, can we watch that from first person?
I wish I could, but again, I can't get off of Diva.
Oh, let's just wait for her to die.
I literally can't do anything. It sucks. I know. We can go back and try to watch it from a better angle, like probably here.
Just fast forward until she dies.
Oh, she's dying right here. Oh, wait, there we go. Haha.
Nice.
Alright. I think we're in first person? Now we are. No, now we aren't. There we go. Okay, so that's good. You're dropping down. You're being as unpredictable as possible, which is good. You're getting healed, which is good. Applying a lot of pressure. Okay, I do have this 1.25 speed. You try to go for the aggressive play. The issue is you're going to have to communicate with your team, hey, I'm going to make an aggressive play, or I'm going to use barrage here, something like that. You have so many abilities that can counter you here. You have hook, you have sleep, and you have ice wall. Know the abilities, because stuff like this, it's going to suck when you get hooked or slapped and you don't get any value.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that in comp, but it somehow kind of works.
You got damage off in the Ana. I don't think you killed her, but you definitely got damage off in the Ana.
So it didn't really work. Yeah, I just got popped. No, it didn't work.
You could try to ask for a pocket. You could just be like, hey, let's run pharmacy to counter their pharmacy or whatever. But if nobody switches, I would probably suggest trying to, if you're trying to specifically kill the Pharah, switch to a hit scan.
Yeah.
Back into the fray.
Respawning. Get a kill off the Ana, get 2 kills. Okay, so now this is where you can be a little bit aggressive. They don't have abilities to displace you anymore. You need to be constantly looking at this death screen, because that tells you whether a fight is won or lost. Also, whether to be aggressive or defensive. They get a kill off on your healer, you need to play defensive. You get a kill off on their DPS, you can be a little bit more aggressive. Know who is dead, know who can counter you, and if they're dead, you can pretty much just walk right up on them and destroy them. And also, I think here, let's go back. So since Hog and Ana just died, the point where you would be aggressive, which would be here. Currently at this moment, Mercy is rezzing Ana. If you were to have been as aggressive as you normally are, when both of your counters, essentially, people who can stun you and stop you from being in the air, are not there, you could have been aggressive and pretty much team wiped their entire team and stopped the res, essentially, with Concussive Blast. Or just killed her, whatever one you so choose. I would suggest Concussive Blast, though, if she is full health, because of the displacement. If you displace her, then she's not going to be able to res. 1v1 Pharah, nice. Very good, 2 directs, easy.
I kind of shit the bed on this Ana.
You have a health back here. Know your map surroundings, because if you do get hit, you want to be able to get as much health back as possible in order to 1v1 someone who can hit you from very, very long range. So I hope... Okay, so you get the high ground, and you get one shot. So that sucks.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
Not a good 1v1 choice.
No. It wasn't good, but if you can try to, you could try to close the distance, especially if she uses her sleep dart. But you have to be careful of Biotic Grenade, because if she can hit it off of a wall and you're right next to that wall, then you're screwed.
I made a couple of better placed shots and she was dead. So it just comes down to that. I got like 4 or 5 shots off on her before she was able to kill me, so they were hits, you know, she's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the issue is when I go into... Well, that's not what I wanted to happen. I thought I would go on Baptiste, but it didn't. Okay, so you're applying pressure. That's a bit of a feels bad. I think she gets... No, she doesn't. So you're applying pressure to the Mercy so she doesn't pocket the Pharah, which is good and bad. You either have the chance to stop the Pharah in her tracks or try to stop the pocket. Since she is barraging, though, I would probably want you to focus her, just to get everybody to focus her and stop all that damage that's incoming onto everyone so nobody dies. Her ultimate, I'm pretty sure it does somewhere around 1,200 damage per second. That's a lot. So if you can stop that as soon as possible, then that would probably benefit your team more so than trying to stop the pocket on the Mercy. This is good, though. You get a kill on the Mercy, which is great. She reses the Pharah. Oh, well. You can just 1v1 her when it happens. This is something that you have to keep in mind. Obviously, you didn't know that they had the Sombra since they had switched, but as soon as they make that switch, you have to call that stuff out immediately. Because if they have somebody else who can counter you, it's going to be a lot harder for you. They have... Well, they just switched off of Rhine to Azaria. And they also have the Sombra now, who can hack you, who can EMP. You have 3 people who can stop your shenanigans from the air. But the hit scan aspect is Sombra. She hacks you. She damages you from the low ground. That's going to be rough. Especially because she can pretty much just be invisible, walk up to you. Hey, you're in the air. Now you're not. You're dead. Bye. Ooh, let's go all the way back to you.
Back in action.
Applying pressure to the back line. It's fine. Trying to get rid of...
Some bad shots.
They weren't horrible. You missed a couple. Oh well, but you still got some good damage off on the Sombra, which made her back off. You're shooting you were shooting at the Roadhog first, but then you realized that Pharah was on the ground, which is good. If Pharah is on the ground, she is just another regular DPS. The main part of her kit is to stay in the air. If she's on the ground, she's not getting as much value as she could in the air. If she's on the ground, that means she's scared of something. If she's scared of something, then that's good. You want her to stay on the ground. If she's on the ground and you're not, that's good chance for splash damage, and it's a good chance for you to kill her. If you can get I think it's 2 splash damage shots and then a direct hit. 2 direct hits just kills her instantly without the pocket. So yes, this is good. Even though you obviously are not hitting the shots, oh well, you can still use the splash damage off of buildings in order to get a decent amount of damage off on it. You could try to even ask for your Ana to help you try to focus down the Pharah. Be like, hey, Pharah's one, you know. Ana puts a shot into her, that's 70 damage, and then you get a splash damage shot off of the Pharah when she's being pocketed. There's, what, 30 or so damage. The Ana pocket is, not the Ana pocket, the Mercy pocket is awful, but you can work around it. There you go. This could have been done like this. So you have the right idea. Once they're coming over this point and they're not looking at you, great time to use barrage. But one thing you can do is you stop here. You have one choice. You can go through that door and try to
I was
get
thinking
behind
about
it.
that. I was thinking about it.
But there is the Ana in the back line, who is
Yep.
way back there. You still have the Sombra, who can hack you. If you know where the Ana is, try to use barrage out of her sightline. She's just now walking around the corner, so either A, you focus her first, or B, you make sure she uses her sleep dart. Because you focus Hog first, not good, because Zarya gets pocketed and she uses bubble as soon as you press that button. Also, if you want to do more burst damage when you're using Pharah barrage, one thing you can do, actually I'll show you that later as well. Pharah barrage chain, because that's a good tech that you can learn with Pharah as well. So yeah, focusing targets is definitely rough. Mercy is a good target to focus. You get nanoed and you kill Hog, which is good. But you could have focused the Ana first, and then you wouldn't have had any issues. Now you're nanoed, and you've pretty much had been slept the entire nano, and you got purpled. So when you're purpled, back up. Because as soon as Ana gets one hit off of you, you were at 94 health. She gets one hit off of you, you're at 24 health. You are one shot away from anything to dying. Be aware. Purple is awful. Pretty much you want to stay in the backline if you get purpled. Because that's welcoming any sort of damage to come your way. Applying more pressure, that's fine. Just be aware. Yeah, nice. That was really good. Baiting out the hook, that's great.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I barely escaped that. Some ugly shots.
Yeah.
I started to do pretty bad right here.
So this is kind of where you're like, oh god, there's a group of enemies, let me just shoot.
Yeah,
wherever.
yeah, exactly. Let me shoot in the middle of all of them and not hit a single one.
Exactly. So you realize this, that's good. Know who to target. You can try to target Sombra, but you have no idea where she is. You can try to target Pharah, but she's getting a pocket. You can try to target Ana. You have to make sure she uses Sleep Dart. You kind of just go into the middle. You're focusing Hog. You're focusing Mercy. She's low. She was low.
Yeah,
She's being very evasive, though. You almost killed the Ana.
Yeah.
We're kind of just in their faces, which is good because they're not paying attention to us. But be careful of Zarya. When Zarya has a lot of high charge, she can hit you from a pretty good distance away if she has a lot of high charge. So you wanna keep that concussive blast to get yourself away from her if she has that high damage, that powerful beam that can pretty much almost, well, not instant kill you, but get you down very, very low and kill you pretty easily. Ana's just standing still, free kill.
I thought I was
Ooh,
gonna
she's
die
won.
there.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you went to go kill the Ana, which is fine. You got rid of the backline, but you did have the extra help with the Pharah.
30 seconds remaining.
You can use abilities to try and escape. You still have the concussive blast in order to try to displace yourself away from any walls or anything. You didn't have a lot of boost, so it was a bit rough.
Nano boost administered.
Good, that's good. Focusing her as soon as she uses hack. So now here's another thing. You can try to use barrage by going over the top once they come through that choke again. But again, just be aware of who can kill you. This is good, just to stave them off. You get a kill, that's fine. This is also good. You're pressuring their healers. Their healers are all the way in the back. They cannot help Hog whatsoever. This is where the rest of your team focuses Hog. You focus on the healers. The healers can't do anything because you're shooting them down. That forces the Ana to use her ability, and it forces the Hog and Mercy to try and push up to stall cart. Everyone dies. Alright. So that's the game. With Pharah, you have the boost on the right. How you're supposed to do it is, well, how you can gain more height by using her boosters. If we fly straight up without boosting, we get about here. Okay? If we tap it, this is how you conserve as much fuel as possible. Obviously, you pretty much go about the same height. You want to hold for a second. You want to hold for a second and then stop. Hold for a second, stop. Keep doing that. And then as soon as you get to the red, this little red part right here, that's when you want to jump boost. So what you'll do is you'll fly, tap for a little bit, tap for a little bit. As soon as you get into the red, jump, let go of your boost when you jump, and let your boost fill up as much as possible until you reach the peak height of your jump jet. So, boost, 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 keep going, boom.
Yeah, that's
Your jump jet's
exactly what I do.
pretty much refilled once you get back up. And I'm already higher than I once was. And then as soon as you get back down to the red, it's already refilled. Bam. You're even higher. So that's one thing. That'll be really helpful for when you're just trying to stay in the air for as long as possible and you don't want to run out of boost as quickly as possible. That's good tech to know, to learn in order to make sure that you won't stay a ground Pharah forever. So now we have the barrage trick. When you are up on a high ground on unsuspecting enemies, what you can do is you're very quiet. So you can kind of just come over here, and as soon as you see the enemy, what I want you to do is shoot a rocket first and then barrage. You can get a free shot off before you barrage. So for more instant damage, you shoot a rocket first and then you use barrage. As soon as you use barrage, it refills your ammo, so you'll have another 6 shots to put into the enemy instead of the 5 that you just used to try and do the burst damage on the barrage. But it's good just to get that more damage into whoever you're trying to kill, whether it be either a squishy or even a tank. It's better to use that kind of stuff just so you can get a little bit more DPS to ensure ensure some of those kills that you might not be entirely sure, hey, this character might not die here. This is a good, what, 120 damage that they're going to have. So a direct hit does 120 damage. A splash damage hit does around 20 to 65. So little minuscule things that you can keep in the back of your mind. 2 direct hits will kill somebody. 2 splash damage hits will not. To yourself, apparently you do half damage. So if you hit yourself with a rocket, it does 10 to 32.5. So if you direct hit someone, you can try to do like a rocket punch hit combo, and you'll take half the damage that the enemy took. So that's good to know. You can't headshot, that's obvious. Soldier, I would say Reaper. We'll start with Reaper. Obviously, you want to try to 1v1 somebody and then get out. But let's say the enemy's over there, right? What we want to do is we want to try and get onto the high ground like this. We don't have to use any abilities to engage. We just drop down on them, kill them, walk right back out. This is our team. Bam, we're done. Wait for the ability to come back online. We can even be a little cheeky. It's on 3. We'll have it as soon as we get up there. We engage. Even now, you should try to time your abilities as well. You don't have to wait till Wraith form is done. You can teleport up here probably around 6 seconds and probably drop down at around 3 seconds. Bam. And then Wraith. It doesn't take that long, especially when you know you're not going to die instantly. If you have somebody like Widow or Hanzo, though, that's a bit different. You want to play a little bit more passive. I didn't know that Soldiers does 120. That's good to know. And just knowing that if they're half health, even just a little bit above half health, that rocket will do that, extra damage that you need to do. But I would say if you are playing Soldier, try to make sure that the shield that is probably going to be on the other team is either damaged, like Reinhardt's shield is damaged to literally nothing, or Orisa just used her shield to regenerate. So like hers is immediate. As soon as she puts it down, you're gonna want to be in that back line using your ultimate, so she can't put down another shield and nobody else can absorb your damage, because Sigma and D.Va can try to peel for their team by using their E ultimates, not their E ultimates, their E abilities. But Sigma doesn't really have the free range with his E as D.Va does. But you still want to make sure that shield, that's probably going to be an issue if it's on cooldown, it's not going to be a big issue. But if she has it available, Orisa or Reinhardt, if they have it available, they can just turn around and immediately block out your ultimate. Yeah, focus down squishies with this. You don't want to take this very lightly, because his ultimate does not do a lot of damage. I would say it's probably one of the worst in the game, because you need to focus on squishies in order to get a lot of value out of his ultimate. Yeah, did you have any questions, by the way?
No, not so far.
Okay, yeah, but if you're mainly playing these 3 characters, they're all really good picks. Soldier is a bit rough right now, but these 2 are really good. Reaper's really good. Pharah can be really good with Pharmacy. Just watch your abilities, watch your positioning, watch others' abilities, and you can try to track ultimates in your head. What I would suggest is don't start out by trying to track all 6 people at once. That's not going to help you. If you're having trouble tracking abilities, try to track one thing at a time. Then, as soon as you start getting that down, track another ultimate or another ability,
Any tips for Tracer?
Oh, Tracer?
Yeah, I'm trying to play Tracer.
Tracer's fun right now because her damage just got
range, so crazy.
Yeah, her range. Sorry, not her damage. So instead of 10 meters, it's now 13 meters, which is awesome. And not only is her damage fall off range from 13 meters been increased, her damage fall off range from 20, or I'm sorry, it was 23, is now increased to 26. So you stop losing your damage fall off range at 26 meters, which is insane. So one thing that you have to do, obviously, watch your counters. So McCree, if McCree's in front of you, one thing that you can try to do is do a double blink. A double blink would be, hey McCree, I'm right here, and then immediately back up. That baits out his flash, and now he only has his gun instead of his flash to stop you. So you just have to rely on AD strafing, as the PC race calls it, but we don't have keystrokes, we just have left and right. So left and right strafing. You want to be as unpredictable as possible with Tracer, and you also have to be aware of your ammo. You can run out of ammo very quickly, you can damage down enemies really quickly, but you have to keep track of your ammo. Your recall ability reloads your gun. Your blink does not. Make sure you can track your ammo, and if you don't have to blink, don't blink, because your blink can stop you from reloading. Well, no, maybe it doesn't. I thought it did. But yeah, you can try to blink in between reloads. So like, hey, I just bursted down an enemy. Oh shoot, I have to reload. So blink away and then come back and try to shoot them. Pulse Bomb is one of those tricky ones. I would say you could literally just be in this training mode. Training mode? Wow, good English. You could try to do something like this. This is what I've been trying to practice for a while now. Is double blinking onto enemies and then pulse bombing them from either long distances or just up on high ground. So what I like to do is I like to go from up there, double blink, and then stick an enemy and then recall back. I've been practicing that over and over and over again, and it's helped me a lot with trying to get those difficult pulse bombs off, especially on the back line when shield's right here. I can't do anything if I just, you know, blink right past them because nothing's going to happen. I'm just going to get bursted down. It's a lot easier when you're unseen from the high ground and you can get a quick blink off of them. You're back up on the high ground when you use recall instead of right there when you use recall. So something like that, and then you recall. Practice this in training range. It's going to make your life so much easier with pulse bombs. Pulse bombs can be thrown away because you can gain them so fast as Tracer, but that doesn't mean you should throw them away. They are expendable, but to the point where you can maybe miss one or two and that'd be okay. Obviously you want to limit them as much as possible, but they're expendable because you can get them so quickly. I literally got mine in the last 20 seconds, whatever. You should use it never, I would probably say never on an Orisa when she has gold, never on Roadhog when he has vape. You want to use it on the smaller targets, the Mercy, the Ana, pretty much somebody who you know you can stick and they will not survive from it. They don't survive from it, that's a pick. You can go in on that, especially if it's on the Ana who has nano. Bam, easy. Another thing that I would say is try to focus or try to practice bursting down an enemy, and when they're low enough. Oh, hi, babe. And she left. That's awkward. Yeah, so when you're shooting at someone and they're low enough health, you don't have enough ammo, what you want to practice is blinking and meleeing at the end of your pistol barrage, so to say. So focus down the enemy, come up, melee them. Obviously, I'm not great at it yet, but practice that, and that's going to be real good for you. Since you are at 100, it's going to be a lot easier for you. But also, you have to be aware of... wow, I'm losing my voice. You have to be aware of how far Tracer blinks. I believe it is 7 meters. So we're here, we blink here, that's about 7 meters. So she has a 7 meter blink range. You have to know how far 7 meters is. The more you play Tracer, the more it'll become second nature, but just know how far 7 meters is at every time. You pretty much want to stay around at this range in order to be close enough to get that melee in. Bam, right in front of them. What's up?
How exactly does the recall work? Is it just like your last 3, like your most, like, is it like time based?
Yes. So
what exactly is the time?
That I would probably say, probably, I don't think I know that Here, actually, I could look it up right now for you because I have it. I'm right on the wiki. Tracer. I believe it would probably be around, I'd say, 10 seconds, if that. Rewinds 3 seconds back. That's not at all what I thought it was. So the past 3 seconds. Why would it make sense 10 seconds? So the three, wherever you were 3 seconds ago, that's where you recall to.
Yeah,
Typically in the
okay.
higher tiers, what you have to be careful of is blink usage. You're out of blinks, you can't do anything. You're just a sitting duck. Blink management is very, very good in order to keep your enemies from hitting you and also to keep your enemies from using abilities to stop you. Baiting out and on a sleep dart, baiting out a hook. Hogs are very predictable. They'll literally just walk right up to you. And as soon as you see that, you can just blink left or right and they'll miss you. Easy as that. But you do have to be aware that if you... It's the same thing with Reaper. Recall is your escape ability. You use it, that is your only escape besides, obviously, your blinks. But if you're out of blinks and you try to recall, you have to realize that that is a cleansing ability. It stops Ononade, it stops the Venom Mine, but it also is pretty much your only escape. So just be aware of the cooldown. It's a 12-second cooldown. That's a very, very long time. It's not the same as Reaper Wraith, which is 8 seconds, or Doomfist Punch, which is 4 seconds. You have to make sure, especially with Tracer, that you're able to get in, and either with blinks or with recall, you're able to get out. If you want to learn how to counter Tracer, or learn what the counter is to you, is people count your blinks. Okay? So, Tracer, shooting an Ana. You can't kill her. Blink, blink, blink. I'm going to be exactly where I ended up on my first blink. That's what Ana players will start to do to you. They will start to count your blinks. So be aware of where you're going to end up sometimes with these recalls. Because these recalls sometimes can be kind of unpredictable when you're in the middle of a fight. I've literally recalled into a fire strike one time and died. That's how unlucky you can get sometimes. So just you can even count your blinks too. Obviously that's a little more higher tier, but you can try to start counting your blinks. Like, okay, this is where I'm going to end up. I know this is where I'm going to end up. So you have to be aware of that. One thing I will say is get your tracking down. You can try to start with just left and right, kind of at the start, and then next you can go with moving enemies from left to right. So yeah, any more questions?
No, not really.
Okay.
That was helpful.
Yeah. Again, video will probably be up Thursday if you want to look back at it. I appreciate it. I hope you climb. I hope the grind is well to you.
Thank you.